This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Season's greetings to you all. I'm Shashina Roll as always. It is so great to have you with us. Topping news as part of the government's new thrust for 2015, Bahamas Customs throughout the country is preparing to launch a number of new policies. These new initiatives are not only designed to increase government revenue, but result in significant savings for Bahamians as well. Joan Davis Roll has our top story.
Bahamas Customs rolling out a number of new initiatives just in time for the new year. These new policies will not only impact consumers, but business owners as well. Top customs officials on Grand Bahama holding a press conference Tuesday morning to make the announcement. Assistant Comptroller of Customs, Sherrick Martin.
VAT, as we know it, is a broad-based tax on goods and services where the country is involved for the common good. We can tell you that we are ready for this new initiatives, and I believe that it's revolutionary. It's a shift paradigm from the way we used to do business, and would also enhance productivity within our organization.
Customs officials also disclosed the exemption of more items and also what's vatable and what's not.
There has been a reduction and rates of duties on quite a bit of items. Some of these items are stoves, which has been reduced to 5%, handbags, which are now free, jewelry, which is free, aluminum doors, which is now 5%, any energy efficient refrigerators are now 5%. Cameras are now free, and also watches are free.
The normal exemption will still be the order of the day. Your exemption will not change. Each passenger who travels still has two exemptions up to $300 every calendar year. So that remains in place. To give you an idea of how it works, if a passenger declares $300 worth of goods, that passenger could get this exemption and there is no VAT. On the other hand, contained in that $300, if the passenger imports a microwave, the microwave is subject to a levy, which happens to work to $5 for that microwave. So even though the exemption will be on the duty, there is no exemption on the levy. And VAT at 7.5% is applicable on that levy of $5.
Bahamas Customs is now on the cutting edge of technology. Licensed individuals will be able to process their customs claims with the click of a mouse. Customs officials say, like any new initiative, there will be growing pains, and they're inviting members of the public to consult with them regarding any concerns. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis Roll.
Well, the newly appointed chairman of the Price Control Commission on Grand Bahama today. The mission to inspect local stores to ensure that price gouging is not taking place and ensure that consumers are not being taken advantage of. Italia Hall went along for the tour.
The introduction of value-added tax is just days away. Come January 1st, consumers will be levied a 7.5% charge on all goods and services. Head of the Price Commission, E.J. Bowe, traveled to Grand Bahama today to get a view of prices in some of the stores ahead of VAT. Bowe says he was shocked by the cost of one price control item in a store, and that item was Gain laundry detergent.
We know that it's duty-free. So once they would have put on the freight onto what they paid abroad, and then the price control regulation allowed them, the merchants, to mark up 23%. Now when you add 23% on, say, $10, $12 with the freight and all that, this is being sold for $34.99 in the store, that store. Now my God, tell me, I don't know how you could turn around 23. If you miss and turn around to 32, there's no way.
Bowe says because this item is on the price control list and has no import duty, the markup should not be so drastic.
The manager on duty said that, well, you know, we do the markup. I said, cut it out, I know all that. what about the documents? He said, oh, he'll go and get the documents. Even before he went for the documents, I said, sir, I know we won't see that document today.
The chairman of the commission notes that regulations dictate that a listing of all bread basket items should be posted in stores, but in this particular store, nothing was posted.
The law requires that every store which is selling goods, bread basket items, they must have a schedule which shows the consumer exactly the price of each bread basket item so that they could check even before they pick up the item. The manager told me, well, he doesn't have one, said if I could get one for him, I don't play with me. Could you imagine that? Man, these fellas were having a field day on the consumers down here. And this foolishness got to stop, and it will be stopped.
Concerned about what this could mean for some consumers, he admonished store owners to follow the law.
Follow the law, follow the Price Control Act and its regulation, because if they don't, they end up on the wrong side of the law. We're not out to get anybody. We're not out to get any store. All we're out for is to protect the Bahamian consumers. And that we will do, and we will step up the heat come 2015, from January 1. And with what tax coming on now, I repeat it again, you go up that 7.5%, which is pegged, do not add 1 cent more than that. Beware.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, at a press conference held at the Ministry of Grand Bahama today to discuss issues related to the Price Commission and Control, and VAT Senior Price Inspector in charge of the Grand Bahama office, Reno Smith, says that the local office will remain vigilant.
You will see me accompanying the other inspectors in the northern Bahamas. And the relaxed period on the merchants have expired. You will no longer be given warnings. Prosecutions begin immediately. There is no reason why anyone should be overpricing at a time like this. We have scheduled 7 inspections today, inclusive of gas stations. Many of you as consumers may not be aware that the price of gas on this island, and throughout the Bahamas for that matter, dropped as of yesterday.
Well, Smith is advising consumers to be more alert. He says when in doubt, consumers should always contact the Department of Consumer Affairs.
The government has asked the merchants to pass the savings on to the consumers. For instance, baby cereal, baby food, baby formula, broths, canned fish, condensed milk, fresh milk, powdered detergent, mustard, soap, soups. These things have no tariff per se, and so they should be reasonably priced. If you were to purchase these things in the U.S., you should see just a basic markup, which would be as a result of shipping and handling, etc., but no tariff per se.
Now, the department plans to conduct random inspections throughout Grand Bahama. The new leadership team at the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce will be officially installed during a banquet next month. President Mr. Kevin D. Seymour and other elected officers and directors will be installed for the term 2014-2015 under the theme Continuation, Collaboration, and Competition. The Chamber, in a press statement, noted that the organization will continue the mandate set out by the past administration, which is to spur economic growth in Freeport and the wider communities of Grand Bahama Island, to advocate for the exemptions under the Hawksbill Creek Agreement, and to continue for the life of the agreement. Now, the Chamber is welcoming members of the community to celebrate with them on January 31st. The event will take place at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.
Happy holidays from all of us here at the ZNS Network.
Welcome back. The Grand Bahama Junkanoo Committee releasing the order of entry for the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade. First out of the blocks will be Showtime. Their theme is a celebration. Next up is Superstar Rockers with a visit to Texas. New Life Classic dancers will be out third. Their focus, Crime Enough is Enough. The swingers will come out fourth, depicting life in the wild, wild west. Bayshore Warriors will follow with Signs of the Zodiac. Kingdom Culture will be out sixth with Party Time. Top performers will enter the parade route with greeting cards and invitations. Harbor Boys will follow, and the final group in the A category will be the Platinum Knights. Their theme, Currencies and Investors of the Bahamas. Now in Division B, the Bushwhackers will be looking green, thinking green, and going green. They will be followed by Western Star Titans, and Sting will close out the B group. The New Year's parade kicks off with an opening ceremony at 5 downtown Freeport. The parade will begin at 6 p.m. And members of the Bayshore Warriors are having their share of challenges, but the group leader says come New Year's Day they will defy the odds and spectators can expect a grand performance. Here's Megan Shepard with the story.
With only 2 days left until the biggest display of Bahamian culture, the leader of the Bayshore Warriors is still making a final plea for funds. He says their major setback was a lack of a proper shack. He says while a building was provided to them, it has many issues that has hindered their progress.
We are appreciative of the Martin Food Store people in the Martins. They've given us this building that they used to operate as a furniture store to use as a shack. While at the same time, like I say, we're thankful for the building, but we also been faced with a lot of challenges associated with the building. The building doesn't have a roof, and we've been forced to endure some real hard situations when it rains. There's so much water all over the floors. We're forced to shut down with days and days not being able to work.
Jonathan Clinton says that they have been appealing to corporate Grand Bahama for sponsorship, but he understands that everyone is facing some financial challenges due to the economy.
We've been had to push this year without a serious sponsor, where the groups in Freeport have major corporate sponsors that give them the funding they need. We had to go this year without a major sponsor. We are thankful for the container port and the contributions they gave us has been helping us a lot to try and get to the stage we're at now. But like I said, it's been a hard year for us. But at the same time, we're putting forth every effort we can to make it to this parade and to put on a good show.
Now, as time winds down, Clinton says his group still remains optimistic about Parade Day.
We're the Bayshore Warriors, and we're proud of this community. We're going to do our best to represent this community of West Grand Bahama to the best of our ability. We have a lot of young kids involved with the group this year, and they're eager to hit the road. We have a new crop of choreographed girls who are doing excellent. In fact, the public would have seen them at the Boxing Day activities out on Sunset Village, where they did exceptionally well for first time out. And like I said, we're going to continue to press forward.
Clinton notes how important Junkanoo is to the Bahamian culture, and residents desire to see a spectacular show. But he adds that this is often very difficult due to financial challenges. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
A youth developmental program officially underway in East Grand Bahama to benefit the young girls of that community. As Kimberly Mullings tells us, the mentorship initiative is already having a significant impact.
Teenage girls from East Grand Bahama are the inaugural members of VOTE, Vessels of Purpose Elite. Director and mentor Brenda Mae Cooper says starting a group focused on teenage girls wasn't easy, but she's glad she carried out her vision, which has proven to be positive for all members.
We would mentor girls. We would provide an environment where, you know, they can learn, they can grow, basically to stimulate them socially, spiritually, psychologically. My heart is, you know, with the teenagers and young ladies. That's where the vision started, and that's my target population. But it's very important because, like I tell persons, this is not a good girls club or a bad girls club. This is a group where young girls from all over can just be a part. They can be steered in the right direction.
Although the mentorship group has just started this year, Cooper says a lot of plans are in motion for next year, including a conference in April. It's all about the ladies.
One of our major fundraisers, and actually that will be our annual event. We're going to be hosting a girls and women conference, and because we truly believe in the fact that in every girl there is an awesome woman. So we want you to just remember that.
Vessels of Purpose Elite carried out their first community service project by collecting food items and clothing for the elderly of East Grand Bahama. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
A young Bahamian woman is breaking the glass ceiling and is making strides in a field that was once considered off-limit to females. This young Grand Bahama woman says the potential for growth is great and is advising others to take up this challenge. Italia Hall reports.
She describes herself as an enthusiastic person who's willing to learn new things while covering as much of the world as possible. 18-year-old Ashanti Store, a student of Sony Maritime College in the Bronx, New York, is now into her first year of college, and she says her experience away from home thus far has been rewarding.
Being off by yourself, it teaches you how to mature. Maybe not faster than you would if you were home, but it gives you some experiences early on that you could use your home training to learn to deal with faster.
The field is growing, and Ashanti is inviting many more Bahamians to explore the sector.
For the Bahamas, because we're surrounded by so much water, it's actually very understaffed, but it's a very lucrative field, and more people should really get into it. And SUNY, they encourage international students to come. They welcome them, and they have like different scholarships and stuff just in case you need that to get to school, but they encourage it because they want more diversity. Bahamians should be more involved in the field because it seems that a lot of people are more afraid to try it, and I think a lot more people would enjoy it if they actually do. It's something very unexplored, it seems. And I think that it should be more explored, and a lot more people than you think would actually enjoy the field.
She admits that the field is dominated by males, but she believes it could be equally as beneficial for females as well.
Don't be afraid to try it, because all you have to do is literally walk in the field. There's no actual barrier for females to enter. Usually it may be only males on the ship. Maybe that's why it may be intimidating, but once you get to know them, they could be just like family.
Ashanti has high hopes for this profession and plans to come back to the Bahamas and give back. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, a local family is celebrating a little more this Yuletide season. Tonight, they are sharing the story of a magnificent harvest and are happy to show off their prized produce. Sabrina Brown has the story.
It's unbelievable to see the size of soil. I mean, last year they were big, but this year, it's bigger.
Pioneers Loop resident Tyrone T. Smith is boasting about this oversized avocado pear, which was grown in his backyard, weighing just under 5 pounds. But get this, he says that's not the largest they've grown.
Oh, that's not the biggest one. The rest, they were so high, some of them dropped and they spurred their birds because I couldn't reach them. I looked up yesterday after I checked it out, and I saw what's supposed to be the biggest pear. Come to find out the biggest pear don't look as big as the pear I have. So, that's what it's all about. So I'm glad that somebody will be able to see the pear that grows in the Bahamas.
Smith says they have many fruit trees which they share with family and friends, but he says it's his fiance that has the green thumb.
My fiance, she's the one who brought the seed, she's the one who brought the tree. And, she's the one who she deserves all the credit for the tree growing.
Smith says they hope that one day their oversized pears would make it into the Guinness Book of World Records. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, Tyrone T. may just have a world record on his hands. According to the Guinness World Record online, the biggest avocado recorded so far weighed in at 4 pounds 4 ounces. The avocado harvested by Tyrone T. was slightly bigger, coming in just under 5 pounds. Stay with us. Ricardo Liborn has a check on sports when we return.
Hey everybody, it's Sports Time. I'm Ricardo Lightburn. This one tonight goes out to my daughter, Rakia Lightburn, who's celebrating today, and the guy we call Q here at ZNS. Yes, our Quincy Jones also celebrating today. Quincy ain't bring no cake for Sheena. That's terrible. The Tabernacle Baptist Academy Falcons, folks, their run of the Arby's Classic in Bristol, Tennessee is over. The Falcons lost early this morning to Knox Webb. Spartans 8-41. Raheem Lang had a great game, folks. 19 points and 9 boards. Gaetano Moss also at 8 points. And Janico Russell chipped in with some 7 points as well. The Falcons finish up the tournament at 2-2, and they are on their way home. Also, the Sunline Stingers at the 25th Daytona Sunshine Classic in Daytona Beach, Florida. They defeated Sullivan High out of Tennessee, 63-34. Daniel Wright, 18 points. Tyler Davis at 16. Travaris Marsh had some 13 points. Melvin Dixon and also Brian Gilbert with some 8 points as well. The Stingers also finished the tournament at 2-2. And guess what? They are on their way home. They say they'll be home in time for Junkanoo. And guess who they're going to rush with? The Bushwhackers. The B3A's end-of-year tour awards is being held in New Providence over the weekend. The Northern Bahamas Awards are going to be held tonight. The big question is, why do we have so many quarter milers? Well, we tried to get an answer from a guy who runs the quarter. Quarter mile LaToya Williams is home for the holidays and can boast of having a very competitive track and field year. LaToya and Demetrius Pinder will have their hands full next year with Chris Brown hanging up those shoes.
Around my age group, there's only 2 of us, me and Demetrius Pinder. I know that he's not going to make it easy. I don't want to be number 2. And I'm pretty sure that D is not going to make it easy to be number 1. So right now, Chris is leaving, but that doesn't mean that the pressure is off our back. Chris always give us a big pressure. Like he always saying, yeah, y'all youngsters coming up, I'm not going to make it easy. But all the young ones, we still here, it's still not going to make it easy. And I guess that's what makes us so good of a group for the 400. That's for such a small country, because we never make it easy for each other. We like spotlight.
The big question worldwide is, how does the Bahamas develop so many quarter milers? Here's LaToya's answer to that.
When they ask me that, I just say, I guess that's what we breed. Like, some of us don't even come up running that event, and we end up running that event. You know what I mean? Like in high school, I did like jumping and hurdling, but I ended up running the 400. Like, we just end up being good at that event. When they ask me, I just say, we breed. Bahamas just breeds quarter milers. The girls now are looking good too. Bahamas just breeds quarter milers.
Yeah, I'm a quarter miler. Get that right. Well, the Battle of the Bahamas Martial Arts was a showcase of the wealth of young talent in the country, and an event to be remembered in 2014. The Battle of the Bahamas was laden with martial art talent at all levels. Thomas Massane came in from New Jersey and also had a wonderful time in the tournament, enjoyed the competition and unity of the schools.
And I think it's exciting. There's real martial artists here. There's a lot of passion, more than I see in the States. And I can't see anybody not wanting to come here. It's a place to come because it gets you out of the States. And the competition is clean and good and wholesome.
Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad returned to the tournament full of vigor and excitement. He wished the fan support was higher, but the athletes that competed was awesome.
We do jiu-jitsu in particular, Sanukis-ru, Kumite-ru, Vijitsu-te. So we do that, but then there are others that's doing Kung Fu. There's others that's doing Karate. See, it doesn't matter. We are all here to help our children grow and help their minds become better. So if we as adults are not where we need to be, then we hinder the children from becoming what they need to be. So the system and style really doesn't have a great meaning. You know, of course, there's value in various styles. I think there's value in all art, but there's greater value in the human being themselves.
The Supreme Grand Master George Ng said it was a wonderful display of martial arts. The Battle of the Bahamas lived up to its billing. Martial arts excitement. And don't forget also the B3A's awards taking place right now at Bishop Michael Ellen Auditorium. We got a lot of our top athletes on. Henry's home, Dolores. He's the guy who was given all those awards last year and game this year. That's a look at sports.